Right. So does Earth Day matter?
Coming from someone who's obviously involved in an organization called Earth Day Network and running the Earth Day 2010 campaign, yes. But from the perspective of someone who's been working on these issues for a while and cares about this movement, I think that it is one of those necessary moments, one of those focal points that needs to be supported by the environmental community. Earth Day has been totally embedded in the idiom. It is mainstream. Everyone knows about it. Businesses take it often not pure of heart and make it their own. Well, it's time for the environmental community to step up and own this moment, because it's a moment that was built on our backs 40 years ago. It's a moment we need to use to perpetuate the movement into the future, especially as we face challenges from a legislative perspective here in Washington, D.C. on the Hill behind you.
Okay, great. And so then how do you think environmentalism is different today versus, maybe 10 years ago or 40 years ago?
The challenges we face today come from a communications perspective. I mean, we are in a battle not only against the APIs of the world and those that want to keep us reliant upon fossil fuels, those that can afford to have lobbyists on the Hill every day, but we're also in a battle against a disconnect, a logical disconnect. It's hard for us to associate the effects of climate change with our everyday life. 40 years ago, lakes dying, rivers catching on fire, kids being sprayed with DDT. The list goes on and on. Ridiculous smog and pollution in LA and New York. Very clear, very pertinent, very proximate to daily lives. Today, we don't feel those things in the United States as much as other countries do. Maldives, India, and again, Brazil, list goes on and on. Here in the United States, it's about closing that gap, showing how our daily actions do affect our daily lives, and how ultimately, when lots of negative actions add up, we can continue to perpetuate climate change.
Okay, great. And so what is the most important thing someone can do today to help the environment?
Today, on the 25th, as we sit here at the Climate Rally, Washington, D.C.,
Sure.
EarthDay.org. For us, we want people to be out here right now to show that they care, that they're willing to get out of their houses, that they're willing to go online, watch this on the live stream, and be part of this movement. People said they wouldn't come. People said that people didn't care. They believe this. The naysayers believe this movement is anemic, that it is, just one category. It's environmentalists. Well, this isn't about just environmentalists. This is about national security, and we have the Operation Free Bus right up the street with veterans from Iraq, veterans from Afghanistan, who've shown that they care and that our dependence on foreign oil makes us less safe. This is about the youth community. This is about the religious community. This is about the social justice community fighting for environmental justice and climate justice. This is a movement that affects all of us and that we all care about. So getting them out here, saying whatever community I'm coming from, this is an issue that's important to us, signing our climate petition to send a message to the Hill, going on and involving themselves in the community, involving them in the discussion and engaging their elected officials is really what we want them to do. And we provide those tools at EarthDay.org.
Okay, great. And imagine Earth Day 2020. What do you think that will look like?
Well, one of the things that we're trying to do at Earth Day Network, and I was trying to do with this campaign, is establish Earth Day as the State of the Union for the environmental community. Again, no longer let the businesses that want to sell toys take over this day. Let's make it about environmentalism. Let's make it about progress. Let's use this moment for the next 10 years, for the next 20 years, to step together, to come together, to stand up and say, where have we succeeded, where have we failed, and what are we going to do about it next year?
Great.